Welcome back and welcome to Vlogmas Day 18. We've stuck with the same Christmas jumper today because it's so Christmassy. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about Searching for a Silver Lining by Miranda Dickinson. Rather than me tell you about this book, synopsis wise, I'm going to read what she put at the end of her acknowledgements because I think she puts it best and definitely better than I could put it. She says this is a book about second chances and the power of forgiveness, for hoping for better and for never being defined by the past. And she says, I hope it inspires you to believe in the best. And Miranda's books are just always so much like that, believing in the best in people and believing in people's kindness and making you feel warm from the inside out and just giving you that kind of hope and that spirit of happiness. And it sounds all very Christmassy. It's not, but yeah, so that's what this book is about, and I think that sums up the book beautifully. And I hope she doesn't mind that I read that little bit of the acknowledgements out, but I think it just sums it up nicely. In terms of the storyline, this book has kind of three storylines running through it. We've got one storyline of Renée Silver, and our main protagonist here, Matilda Bell, or Mattie, meets Renée Silver. And they end up going on an infamous road trip. And they go on a road trip to find the other members of a group called the Silver Five. And they were called the Silver Five, obviously, after Renée Silver. And this particular storyline revolves around them seeking out the other members of this group around the country and going and finding them to see if they would play in a sort of revival, anniversary, final goodbye concert. And I really, really like this aspect of the story. I like the road trip aspect of it. I loved the places they went to. They go to Barter Books in Alnwick, and that is one of my favourite places to be in the world. If you haven't been to Barter Books, it's worth making the journey to Alnwick to go to Barter Books. Basically, Alnwick used to have a railway station, and that is where Barter Books is now. Now you have to go to a different railway station that does still serve Alnwick, but it's not in the centre of Alnwick, and so it's in this converted railway station. And it's second-hand books, and they've got DVDs and CDs as well. They've got a whole room for children's books. They've got a whole section of kind of newer books at the front of the store, and then as you go through the store, they've got fireplaces and comfy chairs and hardbacks and paperbacks and collector's editions and cookbooks and comics and just anything you could sort of hope for. And they've got a great selection of books there and an amazing cafe. You can get a really, really good Greek salad. You can get mac and cheese with bacon, like basically a whole packet of bacon on the top. You can also get a really good like garlic mushrooms on toast. Oh, so good. And the coffee's really good as well. And they've got a good selection of soft drinks too, if that's your thing. But yeah, Barter Books. Go to Barter Books. They go to Alnwick, Cambridge, Bath and somewhere in Wales at the foot of the Brecon Beacons. And I really, really like that aspect of the story. I liked sort of not knowing whether they were going to get to places, whether they were going to be successful when they got to places, sort of where they were staying, what they were eating, how Mattie was doing with the driving. That aspect of the storyline I really enjoyed. We've also got a storyline with Mattie and her Grandpa Joe, and at the beginning of the story, Joe has just passed away, and we know that Mattie kind of had a little bit of unfinished business with him, and we don't kind of find out exactly what that is until the story sort of unfolded a little bit. I wasn't as keen on this aspect of the storyline. She kind of discovers things about Grandpa Joe through his diaries that he left for her to read, but I sort of found myself kind of waiting for the next bit of the road trip story to kind of build itself in there, and I kind of wished that Mattie would kind of find forgiveness somehow for whatever unfinished business she had and kind of live in the moment a little bit more. But then part of the story is about her living in the moment a little bit more. So that's probably the effect that Miranda wanted it to have anyway. And then we've got a third storyline, which of course is a little bit of a romance. I won't say anything about this, but I did enjoy this part of the storyline, and I would like to read more about said romance in the future if Miranda wants to pick up any of these characters again, which would be quite nice. In terms of the characters, Mattie, I found her a little bit frustrating because of her inability to kind of live in the moment and kind of move forward, and I think the road trip really means that has to develop. She's got no choice but to develop that, and she really does grow as a character over the course of the book. I really liked her relationship with her sister. I think her sister's a little bit of an unsung hero in the book, and so I'd really like to hear more about her. Renée Silver, of course, is an amazing character. She brings so much to the book, and she's got this Liverpudlian accent that I could hear coming right off the page every time she spoke, and every time she kind of like put something a certain way. She just had this, real kind of older Liverpudlian former singer Cilla Black type accent and way of putting things that just really came to life on the page. We also have the owner and manager of the club where they're going to do the concert, Gil. He's quite heavily involved in the book. Wasn't so keen on him, but he kind of goes on a journey over the book as well. I found him quite frustrating too. I kind of wanted to take him and Mattie and sit them down and give them a bit of a lecture. I found maybe that shows that the way I live my life is slightly different now to how it used to be. And then of course we've got Grandpa Joe as well, who through his diaries and through Mattie's memories is another character in the book. One of the things I really liked was Mattie's interest in vintage. She owns a vintage shop and she drives a Volkswagen camper van, and her sort of interest in vintage I really liked, and I would like to kind of have seen what she was wearing in various scenes to see what she looked like. I was really happy with the ending of the book. I really liked the ending, and it was very sort of heartwarming and exactly the way the book had been all the way through. I think if the ending had suddenly changed to something else, it wouldn't have been as good, but I really liked the ending. And overall, I just love a Miranda Dickinson book, and it was really nice to be sort of back in one of her worlds again. I would definitely recommend picking this one up, and it's definitely something that you could read at any time of year. I just happened to be reading it around Christmas time, but definitely heartwarming and a story of forgiveness and wanting better and making things better and just lovely. Okay, that's all for today. I will have a review of this on my blog, so you can see the link below, and I will have another video for you tomorrow, so I hope you're having a great day. Bye.